You're broke. But that's okay, so am I, and so is probably everybody else watching this video. And guys, we're all in it together, okay? Doesn't matter how broke you are. Today I have a car for every $1,000 under 10 grand. What that means is I'm gonna give you the best car that I think you can buy for under 10 grand, the best for under 9 grand, the best for under 8 grand, and so on and so forth. You get the premise. Let's get right into it. So for under $10,000, you have a plethora of options, but I think the best one you can get is the BMW M5 E60, which comes with a 5-liter V10 that makes 500 horsepower on the dot, and it was rear-wheel drive. That is an extremely deadly combo, so this is not a good choice if you're thinking of getting yourself a daily driver. Another thing that I want to say about this car is you want to keep in mind BMW is notorious for having engine problems. Way more than any other car in the world does. And the BMW M5 E60 is even worse than normal BMWs, and that's saying something since it is a BMW. They are extremely cool looking, and you can join the mafia if you do end up getting one, but they have problems. Keep that in mind. So yes, it's under 10 grand, but the repairs will not be under 10 grand. For under $9,000, I think your best bet is the Hyundai Genesis Coupe. It comes with a 3.8-liter V6 that makes 348 horsepower, and it was rear-wheel drive once again. Most of these on this whole list are going to be rear-wheel drive since I'm such a huge fan of rear-wheel drive. But back to the Genesis Coupe anyway. The looks on these cars, there's something about them, and it just makes me smile. Hyundai is like kind of a boring brand, honestly, so no one ever really expects to see a nice Hyundai. And the Genesis Coupe, it was. The Veloster is pretty cool looking too, but the Genesis Coupe, it was just like, that's a Hyundai? Like, it blows your mind. Give these cars a chance, all right? Because they're fast. 348 horsepower in a little rear-wheel drive car is quick. It just sucks because nobody else ever actually gives these cars a chance, but they have so much potential to be an insane tuner. For under $8,000, I think it's a great time for you to start looking into the Nissan 350Z. The Nissan 350Z comes with a 3.5-liter V6, making 306 horsepower, and it was rear-wheel drive once again, baby! We're only specifically talking about rear-wheel drive cars. Not really, there are some other cars on this list that aren't rear-wheel drive. Anyway, as you guys know, the 350Z is my personal favorite car, and the car that I actually own. So obviously that ties into why I think this car deserves the $8,000 spot, but even if I didn't own one, they have a huge aftermarket support, and all of them range in prices like crazy. You can find a 350Z for under 10 grand. You can find a 350Z for under 5 grand. The only downside I can think of about the 350Z is that they are rear-wheel drive, and they do only have 2 seats, making it a pretty bad choice for a daily driver in a place with snow. Anywhere else, it's pretty good, actually. The VQ35 engine is very reliable. But even if you are like, I really want it, you still get Insta-Clout, so it's cool. For under $7,000, we're going to be talking about the good old Subaru WRX, specifically the Hawkeye, but you can get a Blob-Eye or a Bug-Eye for under this range too. And it came with a 2.5-liter turbocharged, flat 4, making 225 horsepower. And this is the first car on this list that is actually all-wheel drive, which is something that can definitely come in handy. The car is so freaking good for a daily driver, and they are even better if you want to get started working on cars. If you have some big old dreams to fulfill, this car can get you there. They're good. They also have a massive community around them where all of them get together and they vape and they trade head gaskets, and it seems like a blast to be a part of, but I'm just not a big fan of all-wheel drive, so that's why I didn't join that whole community. Realistically though, these are one of the most popular cars in the world, so you can get help for absolutely anything you need. Parts are absolutely everywhere, and it's like putting together Legos working on one of these things. For under 6 grand, I think it's time we talk about the legendary, the beautiful Lexus SC300. And the SC300 comes with a 3-liter inline-6, making 225 horsepower, and it was rear-wheel drive and an absolute drift missile. Most of the SC300s out there will not be found in manual for under this price, but that's okay, considering manual swaps are pretty easy on these cars. A lot of people buy just the automatic SC300s and swap them out for a manual down the road, and it works. It works really well. They're extremely underrated, especially in the current scene today. And the only time you ever actually see one of these cars is if you go to like a drift track, because everybody drifts them. If you are going to drift one of these cars, props to you. I love these cars, and seeing them drift is such a blast. But just keep in mind that even though it does have a 2J, it's not the 2J that can like handle a bunch of power. Halfway down the line, we have $5,000, and $5,000 is a very reasonable area to get yourself to. And I think the best car you can buy for under this price is the Nissan 300ZX, and it comes with a 3-liter V6 making 222 horsepower, and it was rear-wheel drive, of course, in a timeless design for a sports car. This thing, you sit in it, and it's like you're going back to the year 1990. All right, this car is just beautiful. As a matter of fact, the design was so cool that Lamborghini designed their Diablo after it when they saw it. That's freaking awesome. A Lamborghini designs a car after a Nissan, you know it's a cool car. They're also pretty decent platforms to build on if you're thinking of drifting it. They happen to have a VG engine, not the VQ engine, which surprised me the first time I saw it, to say the least, since honestly I thought all Z cars just came with a different VQ engine. But anyway, the VG engine that's in these cars is actually extremely reliable and extremely good if you want to build a platform for drifting. For under $4 grand, I think the legendary BMW 328i E36 is a perfect candidate. It comes with a 2.8 liter inline-6 making 190 horsepower, and once again it was rear-wheel drive, and they are becoming the next S13, baby, meaning they are kind of skyrocketing in price since they have that drift tax, and it makes them extremely hard to find under this price range. But there are still some people out there who don't overprice them, and so it still can be done to find it under $4,000. If you do want one though, I'm going to be honest with you, get it now, since they probably won't be coming down in price anytime soon. I highly see these cars just becoming like the next S13 and becoming a car that everybody wants. And it's kind of sad because there is literally tons of these cars laying around. They're nothing special, but people think that they are. If you do decide to drift it, then just please keep in mind that they aren't the most reliable stock engines on this planet. But once you start fiddling with the engine, it gets a little bit better. For $3,000, we're jumping back into another BMW, but this BMW is actually better than the last one, which makes no sense, but it's the 330Ci E46, which comes with a 3-liter inline-6 making 225 horsepower, and it was rear-wheel drive. And if you decide to get a different model, then it actually can come in all-wheel drive too, but they only come in all-wheel drive in the sedans, and who wants all-wheel drive in a BMW anyway? These cars are easily the most affordable drift cars on the market right now. They are still in the BMW gray area where they aren't like new enough to be expensive, but also not old enough to be like a collector's car. And so that's a good thing for you or me since they are extremely cheap, but it's kind of weird. Like, you know that eventually they're going to get expensive again, but right now they aren't. And it's like, it's kind of a good thing, but also kind of a bad thing because you can just see the future, and you can just see that these cars are going to skyrocket in price. Once again, they are a BMW with a little bit of reliability issues, so don't be surprised if you're drifting and your pistons become the next Neil Armstrong. For under $1,000, you have to realize that the options are extremely limited, and the options that we do have are going to be beaten up. But I think still the best car for under $1,000 is the Honda Civic EG, and it comes with a 1.6 liter inline-4 that makes 125 horsepower, and yes, it is obviously front-wheel drive, and yes, 125 horsepower is extremely low, but it's a car that's less than $1,000. You can't really expect much. You're not going to get over 200 horsepower in a car that's less than $1,000. You can make $1,000 in a week of work if you have a good enough job. That's nothing to write home about. On top of that, it is a Civic, meaning you can easily get a lot more power out of one of these cars. They sadly did only come in front wheel drive, but that doesn't mean that you can't swap it to be a drift missile. It would just be, you know, extremely hard and not too realistic, but it also would be hilarious, and it would also probably be a blast. That's the Civic that's drifting, and that literally never happens. I actually really personally want one of these cars, but unfortunately there's something weird about Civics. I just can't bring myself to do it for some reason. But that is the end of this list. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, you already know what to do, baby. Like, comment another video you want to see. Please help me out with video ideas because I'm running out of content ideas, all right? So help me out here. And subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss those new videos. Also, tomorrow is going to be another good, the bad, and the ugly, and then the day after that, we have another 350Z build video coming along. And then we also have another video that I want to get out there of one of my friends might have gotten a new car. I'm super excited because he's going to let me film a lot of the stuff that he does to that car to show you guys. I'm excited for that. Also, guys, if you guys want to see, comment down below if you guys want to see a video of me reviewing some subscribers' cars. Let me know. I love doing those and they're a blast, so definitely comment down below. Anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Das Vidania, and have a nice night. Guys, post-editing Mark, and I just want to say really quick that I need some content ideas, alright? I love doing these videos for you guys of like the cars and their 10K and stuff like that, but it's kind of getting a little boring, you know. I'm just constantly just doing budget cars. I feel like you guys don't want to just keep watching that, so please let me know in the comment sections. I'll keep doing the good, the bad, and the uglies, and I definitely won't stop on the budget ones, but I want to cut back on them and start doing anything else, any more kinds of videos. So let me know what other things you guys want to see. Thank you.